Hi there, I'm Dr. Christian Mostert from Kick-Ass Dissertations, and we are busy writing our research proposals. So this is section 10, the significance of your study. So right off the bat, I want to emphasize the importance of the sections. I was once part of the academic panel that had to deliberate over some research proposals. And for a PhD proposal, you often have to defend it in front of the panel. So the chairman of that panel asked the student three questions. And the first question was, what is the problem here? And what is the purpose of your study? And then the third question he asked him, what is the significance of your study and why does it matter? And then he spent another 10 minutes discussing this issue. So this was hugely important, and I want you to think and pay attention when you develop this section. So let's look at the components of it. So firstly, the purpose of this section is to explain to the reader why your study is important. And it must be important academically, but also the contribution that you can make to other stakeholders. So it is really important to understand that first and foremost, we're looking for academic significance, but then secondly, you can think wider about what are the applications that will result from your research. So this is a great opportunity to explain to everyone why you think your research is important. So when you start, the very first paragraph must deal with the academic importance. So we want you to describe your study's importance in contributing to the gap in the body of knowledge. You recall that this is the reason why you do research, that there must be a gap between the existing knowledge and what you want to know or achieve. And therefore, you need to immediately explain how you're going to address the gap in the knowledge. But then you may also highlight, even at this early stage, potential new or unique contributions that can be expected that you're going to provide to the body of knowledge. This is a great opportunity to position your dissertation as something that's really going to be important, not only to the university from an academic point of view, but then also to society in terms of the application of your dissertation. Good. So let's look at that significance, the other significance. So you can also summarize here who else can benefit from the knowledge from your dissertation. And here you can become more specific. For instance, there's nothing wrong to say here that I expect government to be able to influence their policies by applying the research that will come from my dissertation. That's a type of example where you can really become more specific in terms of who will benefit from your research. I want to encourage you that there are some frameworks that you can also put a more almost scientific approach to the significance of your study. There's, for instance, a framework that deals with how original is your work, especially academically, versus the practical application of it. And then you can put this in a grid that will also highlight for the reader that not only will your research study be original, but it's also going to have high utility or application factor. Regarding the length, this is not a long story. It's typically half a page, maybe one page. Be careful that you don't waffle, and also be careful that you don't build pies in the sky that don't exist. So you can create an expected realization of your research study. So you can say that I expect this to achieve this and that, and this person and that will benefit from it. But you have to be realistic. Rather underplay this a little bit in your research proposal. And once you've done your real dissertation, right at the end, we advise in Kick-Ass Dissertations that you go back to this section in your dissertation now, and then you can really update it, because then you have achievable results or conclusions that you've made from your study, and now you're going to just confirm them that you've actually achieved them in your study. This is a very important section for especially PhD students. I can almost guarantee you that when you have to defend your proposal in front of the academic committee, you're going to get a question on the relevance or the significance of your study. So you must make sure that you prepare for this especially for your research proposal defense session.